In this video, I'm going to explain to you why I think that training reps in reserve is probably actually hindering your progress and why you're not building muscle or getting stronger, and why I train clients to failure rather than giving them reps in reserve. Now, if you're someone that knows where failure is and you're pretty seasoned in training bodybuilding style and lifting weights, then this probably isn't for you. This is for people that have been stuck on the same weight for years and they're not happy with the physique that they've got. Maybe you're someone that is just starting out and just learning out where true muscular failure is, or you're not sure where that is, or if you've been spinning your wheels for a couple of years and you feel like you're an intermediate but you're not seeing the change that you feel like you're putting enough effort in for. Now, the first obvious points are that you need to make sure that you're consistent with your training, your nutrition, and your sleep, hydration, all of that sort of stuff. That is a given. That is the basics. They are the fundamentals. Where people tend to falter, and where I see some of my clients who've come from maybe other coaches or doing their own research, is they get a sense of, I need to train in reps in reserve and not push myself to complete failure. Otherwise, I'm going to build up so much fatigue that I can't recover from. Most people are going to be okay. Like, if you're the average gym goer, you're going to be okay. And what I find is that when people say to me that was 1 or 2 reps in reserve, it's actually not 1 or 2 reps. It's more like 10 reps. They've often got more. A classic case of this is whenever I train a client and let's say I'm using a leg press, I will say to them, pick a weight, how many reps do you think you can get on that weight? And if they turn around and say 8 to 10 or 8 to 12, I'll go, that's cool. You're going to do as many reps as you can until you physically can't do any more, or I tell you to stop. More often than not, they end up getting closer to 25 reps than they do 8 to 12, which would tell me and tell the client that they're either not working hard enough or they're absolutely nowhere near failure because they don't have the knowledge of how hard they need to work. They think they could just go in the gym, lift a few weights, and things are going to change. So sometimes it takes a little bit of realization with that, and I have used that with clients before. And so the common things that I see with this is, number one, people aren't training hard enough. If you're not seeing any growth, you're not training hard enough, you're not progressively getting stronger, you're not trying to beat your rep ranges, you're not trying to beat your numbers in your logbook, you're not lifting any heavier weight, you're not hitting progressive overload. Number two is you actually don't know where true failure is because you're not working hard enough. Maybe it's a confidence thing and you're scared that you're going to hurt yourself or the machine's going to collapse on you. More often than not, it's not the case. You're not made of glass, you're probably going to be okay unless you're acting like an absolute idiot and lifting like a knobhead. And the third thing is most people tend to give up when they start to feel the burn. As soon as they start feeling the muscle being worked ever so slightly, they give up, they go, that's enough, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, I must be working hard enough. So with all that, the way that you're going to build muscle is making sure that you're at least 5 reps away from failure. Those last 5 reps away from failure are known as your effective reps. They're the ones that are going to recruit more muscle fibers. They're the ones that are going to stimulate more growth. They're the ones that are going to force the adaptation. So if I show you on this graph, down the bottom, you've got reps in reserve. 0 reps in reserve is complete failure. And on the left, you've just got work rate, how hard you need to work. Now, what people tend to do is they will get across here, and then as it gets to 5 reps away, that'll get a little bit more difficult, and then it'll get more difficult, more difficult, more difficult to here. And it's at this point here where most people give up. It's at this point here where it gets a little bit uncomfortable. They start to feel the burn and go, that's it. I must be working hard. I must be building muscle. I don't want to push myself any further than this in case I get injured. This whole section here, this whole orange section is where you're going to see the most growth because that is closest to failure, which is here. If you don't get to that point and you sit in this blue section here, guess what? No growth. You're not going to grow from this. You are essentially going into the gym and spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere. You are not stimulating any form of muscle growth because you're not recruiting any muscle fibers. You're not exposing yourself to more stimulus that the body has to adapt to. And so you have to get a little bit uncomfortable. You have to make sure that you're progressively trying to lift heavier. You're progressively trying to beat your numbers in your logbook. So again, if you do need a program and you need someone to give you your rep ranges, click the link in the description. That will give you a free 8-week program. So you'll know rep ranges for 8 weeks and it will give you some structure to follow. And make sure that you're logging your workouts so that you know exactly what you're lifting on a week-to-week basis and you can see, okay, there's evidence that I'm getting stronger. So 3 things that you want to look out for to make sure that you're lifting heavy enough and that you are getting close enough to failure. These are what I get my clients to do, and this is why they end up building muscle and getting stronger. Number 1 is your reps should be slowing down. The first rep should not be the same tempo as the last rep. The last couple of reps want to be a fight. They need to be slowing down. They shouldn't be the same speed. If they're the same speed, you've got more in the tank. Number 2 is your form breaks down. Now, I don't mean when I say form breaks down that you end up lifting like a knobhead or your ego lifting. Your form wants to be pretty good. It needs to be standardized throughout the whole set. But those last couple of reps, your form is likely going to break down. If you're doing a chest press or a bench press, your hips are likely going to come up a little bit. But it's at that point where you know that you're hitting failure because form is breaking down. I'd argue if you're not breaking down and your form is perfect throughout, you're still not training hard enough. And the way that you're going to know all of this is either having a coach by your side or filming your sets. When you film your sets, you can see exactly how you're lifting and how close to failure you're getting. There's many times that I film my own sets and it looks like I have more in the tank, but at the time when I'm lifting it, it feels like I've got nothing left. But then I go, okay, cool, that doesn't look like it's slowed down. I probably could have got one more out there. And then next time you go, okay, let me look at my logbook. This is what I got last time. Let's add one more rep onto there. The third thing, you're probably going to be pulling some faces. You want to be pulling faces. You want to be grunting a little bit. You want to be going a bit red in the face. That's all evidence that you're working hard enough. No one's looking at you thinking, the guy's working too hard. People are actually often going to be like, fucking hell, that guy's working hard. I need to be like that. Those people that do all of these three things, more than likely going to be in the best shape. I get my clients to send in form videos and I tell them that if they're not confident of filming themselves in the gym, get over it. People film themselves in the gym every single day. No one cares. If you're really conscious, get a magnetic phone holder that you can just clip to something and you'll be fine. No one will even notice. So your reps want to be slowing down, you want to be making sure your form starts to break down towards the end, and you want to be making sure that you're pulling faces, you're going red in the face and you're making a few grunts. That's how you know you're going to be hitting failure, and that's how you're going to know that you're building some muscle. If you're doing all of those things, then you're going to more than likely be in this growth zone here, and then over time you're going to end up building muscle. A couple of other things that you can take away to make sure that you're doing this even more. Going on machines is going to be safer. It's going to allow you to push closer to failure because there is a start point and an end point. Going to failure on a barbell squat is going to be a lot more difficult and a lot more risky than it would be a leg press. Doing it on a chest press is going to be more safe than doing it on a barbell bench press, unless you've got a spotter. Record your sets and be honest when looking back. Did I have any more in the tank there? Did that rep actually slow down? Was I being a bit of a bitch? Give it a go. If I give you a rep range and it's 8 to 12 and you've lifted a little bit heavier and got 6 or 7 reps, I'm not gonna have a go at you. I would actually rather see you give it a go than play it safe and go slightly higher rep range and quitting a little bit early. At least then you're gonna be exposing yourself to a little bit of more weight, which is gonna cause a little bit more stimulus, which means, cool, I'm gonna force an adaptation. That'll be easier next time. I'd rather see you give it a go. And the final thing that I do if someone is completely new with me, I will give them 3 sets. I will give them a rep range, whether it's 8 to 12, 10 to 15, or 6 to 8, whatever. The first 2 sets, I will say hit that rep range, and the third set, as many reps as possible. If on that third set, they can keep going and going and going and going, and they get 15 reps on an 8 to 12 rep range, we know then next session, you need to increase the weight. In the next video, I'll break down rep ranges and what they mean and how to work out your starting weights. Any questions you got, stick them in the comments, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.